Joined now by Storm Team 3 meteorologist Ryan Knapp. Now, Ryan, as for us here, we've seen quite a bit of rain today.
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy video. Videos were all over the place on social media regarding that tornado. Obviously sending out a lot of thoughts out that way too. But yeah, locally we've seen a lot of rainfall, and it's actually the reason we currently have this flash flood watch issued until 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. They're up now for Houston, Fillmore, Wabasha, Winona, and Olmsted counties in Minnesota, Winneshiek, and Alamaki in Iowa. So these are going to be in effect till about 10 a.m. on Sunday. So something to keep in mind as we move throughout tomorrow. Now, these rainfall reports are insane, really. In some cases, we have not seen this much rain here locally in quite a long time, considering how much really we saw in the last couple severe weather events we have had, being really only between about an inch to maybe an inch and a half at most. And really right now, La Crosse, highest on the map, of course, at just over 5.5 inches. The videos coming out of there are just incredible with how much rainfall they saw. Winona, locally here, a little bit under 4.5 inches. That's nothing to really, nothing to say is small by any chance. Wabasha seeing just over 2.5, Rochester just under 2.5. So a lot of regions seeing a lot of rainfall. And if you notice a trend, especially with these three right here, it's a good reason why that flash flood watch is in effect for those regions, especially considering we're still looking at the chance for some more showers and storms later on this evening. We still have that severe weather outlook across the entire viewing area. It is still that slight risk, but I don't think we're going to see much in the sense of real severe weather as we push forward throughout later tonight. I think the only things we'll start to see are more of really straight line winds, potentially with some of these lines and maybe some storms, as well as some locally heavy flooding really across the areas that are in that flash flood watch. So something to keep in mind as we push throughout later tonight. SKYTRACKER 3 as of right now, clean. Nothing to really talk about. A few small showers to the north of Albert Lee and Austin, and that's a lot different than what we were originally looking at this morning, where around this time we were saying between really maybe 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock seeing our chance for severe weather. I feel like that opportunity has now kind of expired across much of the region, which is a good sign as we are still seeing some clearing out there as of right now. Maybe that's a trend we'll take in the later tonight. I'll take it hour by hour here, and I'll tell you what, compared to what we saw at 6 o'clock, this is a lot milder compared to where we saw, especially around 2 a.m. A few showers up there across by Wabasha and Winona, potentially as we push towards later in tonight. And then really by about 4 a.m., maybe just some locally heavy rainfall, but this is a lot less than what we were originally seeing, which is a good sign for a lot of the areas that have seen some increased rainfall really throughout much of today, considering a lot of the entire viewing area has not seen much rainfall this summer. So that's a good sign that we won't see really heavy widespread flooding really for much of our western areas and maybe even central viewing counties. A little bit further to the east there, if we do have a locally heavy downpour, I could see there being maybe a little bit of flooding, but for the most part, we are looking good as of right now. We'll keep tracking that as we move throughout tonight and let you know if we see any trends. The threat tracker for today, we were looking at the risk for tornadoes. I think we can start to limit that out. Large hail, potentially maybe with one of the initial storms that might fire up prior to the night. If there's enough energy in it, you could see maybe a little bit of hail. High winds, because that'll start to become more of a wind event later on. If some of these storms start to kind of collect together, could see some stronger winds with that. And then the big thing for tonight would be the heavy rainfall. We're going to see moisture continue around really for much of this week. That's all this green here across the entire viewing area. So we'll be seeing a lot of that as we push into Tuesday, and then by the end of the week might dry out a little bit, seeing our rain chances decreasing really across the entire region as well. Sunday right now being one of our highest here on the map. Looking ahead at tonight, we'll see the chance for some overnight thunderstorms. Temperatures really in the upper 60s before warming up again tomorrow. It's about 82. Could see some early showers and then maybe some late in the day thunderstorms possibly as of right now. 7-day forecast for the weekend's always in view. You'll see a lot of 80s on the board, and you'll also see a lot of rainfall too as we push towards Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll start to clear out as we push towards Thursday and Friday before hopefully seeing some cooler conditions as we approach next weekend. Annalise?